Hey there, this is Brian with Fantasy Boom, and this morning we'll be talking about my picks for draft on 10 April 2018. Now, this YouTube channel is still in its infancy, so please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. We're talking about two platforms that most people aren't talking about, and that's draft and predict picks. Now, if you want to play draft, if you haven't signed up, it's a lot of fun. It is a snake draft format. Just go to the description of this video, click the link, and you'll get a free $3 entry. I know when I signed up for draft on opening night this year, I won my $3 entry, so I was really excited about that. So, I don't play draft every single day. It depends how much I'm able to do my own research. I've been out of town for several days, so I haven't played in a little while, in probably about 4 or 5 days. But I do my own research, or I do my own projections rather. And as you can see, it's very everything that I do is very in depth. I've got a lot of formulas in here, but there's a lot of information that I plug in. And then I come up with my selections, and I take some notes as well because it's not always about the stats. There's a human element that you got to factor in there. So a few days ago I played, and this is how it shook out. Goran Dragic didn't play. Now, this particular day, I was getting a new phone. So when that news came out, I was not able to log on and take him out. So I actually got a 0 for him. I also picked DeRozan, Davis, Aldridge, and Whiteside. Now, with those four, I had him projected at 175.5. Ended up getting a 168.4. And I won by 12, believe it or not. So even with the Goran Dragic not playing, I still won. Had DeMar DeRozan. I really struggle with DeMar DeRozan. He's one of those guys, when the Raptors are blowing somebody out, they pull him. You know, some teams will keep their starters out there. So I came up about 4 points shy on him. Anthony Davis, I had him projected at 60. He hit 58. LaMarcus Aldridge, I had him predicted at almost 43. He hit 50 almost. Hassan Whiteside, felt pretty good about him. I had him projected at 39. I knew that, his minutes really fluctuate, and he got almost 32. Now, where my opponent really struck out was his very first pick was Andre Drummond, and he was number 2 for me. If I would have had the number 2 pick, and Anthony Davis was already taken, I would have taken Drummond. But he hasn't been playing very hard towards the end of the season, and he came about 20 points shy of projection. And so I got the victory on that one. So going over my picks for today, James Harden, number 1. He's averaging 66.4 versus the Lakers. I have him projected at 48. He's hit that number 3 times out of his last 6. My concern is that his field goals are a little bit down the last 5 games, 17 a game as opposed to 20 on the season. Now that's kind of weighted because he had one game, I think, where he went over 20, but about 4 of the last 5 his shots have been down. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but I still like him as the number 1 pick. Ben Simmons screws me a lot. I have the worst luck with Ben Simmons. I've got him projected for 42. Against Atlanta, he averages 53, and he's hit 42 3 out of his last 5 games. I have him projected to play 31 minutes tonight. The Hawks play pretty hard, so this isn't like the last time Ben Simmons screwed me was against Brooklyn, ended up playing 25 minutes. I have him playing 31 here. I feel pretty confident he's going to get that. Victor Oladipo, I've got him next. I have him projected for 49, so I have him projected a little higher than Ben Simmons, and he averages 44.8 versus Charlotte, and he's gone over 44 5 of his last 7 games. So this was hard for me because Ben Simmons, like I said, he kind of screws me a lot. Victor Oladipo is actually my favorite player, so sometimes it's hard for me to be biased or unbiased with him, depending on what the matchup is. So yeah, Oladipo, I'm just due to the matchup, and Charlotte's not playing very hard lately, I'm going to go with him, slightly under Ben Simmons. John Wall, I don't know if people are going to have him as high as I do. He averaged, he played 1 game versus Boston this year. He had 51. He just came off a game with Cleveland where I think he had, I don't have the number offhand. I think he had 60 plus or something. He's only hit 46 in 2 out of his last 7. And he's only been back from injury 3 games. So he's hit that 46 number 1 out of the 3. Oh, there, I did take that down. 59.5 versus Cleveland. Heading into the playoffs, the Wizards need some momentum, especially versus a team like Boston. So I'm high on Wall tonight. Dwight Howard, I'm pretty sure my opponent is going to want Rudy Gobert over Dwight Howard. And this was tough. I mean, I've got Dwight Howard at, projected about 30 and Gobert about 35. Now, Dwight Howard averages 34 versus Indiana, which is over the projection I have for him. He's had 27.5, which is, slightly under my projection here, in 9 straight games, and has averaged 44.4. His minutes have even been a little bit down. So he's been really crushing it. So I just like him over Gobert. Gobert averaged 37.6 versus Golden State this year, 35 in 3 of his last 7. Now, these are DraftKings projections because it's a lot easier for me to pull up those stats with DraftKings. But if someone scores 48 on DraftKings, they're usually about 49, maybe 50 on draft. So I'm pretty confident since draft is typically the higher projection, but it's just easier for me to work with DraftKings numbers when I'm doing this, even though the scoring's not quite the same. Gobert averages about 33 minutes at home, but he's been averaging 29 versus Golden State. I projected him with my formula playing 36 tonight. I don't see that happening, so that's why I actually like Dwight Howard over Rudy Gobert, and I actually think my opponent is going to prefer Gobert, and I think that's where I'm going to really get him tonight. Chris Paul, I have him, even though I have him projected at 49.6, almost 50, he's only averaging 36.8 versus the Lakers. He hasn't hit 49 since March 11th, and he's averaging 36.6 in his last 5 in about 32 minutes. So I don't like, even though on paper you think, okay, Chris Paul's going to kill the Lakers, I'm not going with it. Bradley Beal, he's averaging 48.8 versus Boston. Chances are I'm actually going to I might take Beal over Paul here. No, I think I'm still comfortable with Chris Paul over him. But he's averaging 48.8 versus Boston. He has 5 straight games with 33 plus. I have him projected at 33, but in 5 straight games he's been scoring 39.7. That's only a tick above Chris Paul, averaging 36.8 versus the Lakers. So I'm comfortable with going Beal after Paul. Donovan Mitchell, on paper, he should do really, really well versus Golden State. That's why I have him projected at 41. But he's averaging 37.7 versus them, and he's only hit 41 in 3 of his last 9 games. So I don't know if he's conserving energy for the playoffs or what is going on. But I'm comfortable with Beal over Mitchell. Julius Randle, this is a really interesting one. I hope he falls to me. I don't know how this draft is going to shake out. I have him over Kevin Durant. So let me talk about Julius Randle. He's been playing more minutes. Against Houston this year, he's averaged 25.8 fantasy points in just 18.6 minutes. So I have him projected at 33. There's no reason he can't hit 35, a little bit more. He's been averaging 28 minutes per game over the last 5 and 31 over the last 2. In 2 of the last 5 games, he's hit over 33 points. So I love Julius Randle tonight. Kevin Durant, he's been killing it lately. And this is where I could lose tonight. This is a big gamble for me. Draft has him as, recommended, I think, the 3rd or 4th player to take tonight. He's averaging 33.3 versus Utah. I've got him projected at 33.6. And my accuracy rating, the closer it is to 0, the more comfortable I am with it. I'm going to take the chance on Kevin Durant tonight. That's what's going to make or break me tonight. And then I've got Robert Covington, Joe Ingles, Clint Capella, Draymond Green, Ricky Rubio rounding it out. I'm not going to talk about them because I don't have too much to say about them. Let's get into a draft. I'm going to do a live draft. So if you guys have not done this before, a lot of fun. Usually your opponent is going to pop up fairly quickly. All right. Since we're waiting on him, Covington, yeah, I've got him at 33. I don't even have him that much worse than Durant. He's averaging 27.4 versus Atlanta. But he's hit 33 in his 3 of his last 5, so I think he's kind of a consistent pick for around that area. Joe Ingles, I have him projected for 32. Should do well against Golden State, but he's averaging 28 versus them. He has scored 32 in 5 of his last 7, so he's actually pretty solid if he falls to me. Draymond Green has just not really been a good fantasy player this year. Actually, it's Clint Capella we're talking about. He's been actually really good lately, and it was really hard for me to pick my centers today. But I'm going to try to be comfortable with Dwight Howard and the role that he's been on. But Clint Capella's been on a little bit of a roll as well. Draymond, like I said, I think he's going to fall right around that 29. That's been about how he's been playing lately. Ricky Rubio, another guy that you would think would just put up crazy numbers against him, but he's averaging 27.8. I got him projected at 28. And the last 2 games he's averaging a little over 17, but he's been playing hurt. So 2 games ago he got hurt, I think, and then the last game he played, but didn't play that much because he was hurt. So I feel like he is not full strength right now. Damn, I'm sorry. I guess because I'm playing $25 that I got to wait a little bit longer. So I'm going to BS you guys for a little bit. I like to do a live draft on my videos, so my apologies if I have to make you wait. There we go. 1 more minute to go. That was my phone notifying me that I have an opponent. So 1 minute. If you want to fast forward in the video, about 45 seconds, you can go ahead and do that. And again, I'm taking my gamble with trying to get Dwight Howard early. I feel like I could get him later in the draft. I feel like I could get Paul and Beal in there first and then Howard. But I'm afraid that my opponent is high on Howard as well. And I really don't want Rudy Gobert today. Dwight Howard is going to be my guy that I'm rolling with. And then my other gamble's Kevin Durant, where I don't think he's going to be a good play. I could be totally wrong, but statistically, I don't see it happening. And I did factor in his numbers without Clay and Steph on the floor. And Utah's been playing really well lately. I just don't see Kevin Durant killing it tonight. Not more than some of these other guys. Number 1 pick, that's always a good thing. Going to go with James Harden. Let's see what this guy does. All right, so he went Kevin Durant first. So if my prediction on Kevin Durant is correct, then I'm going to crush this guy. I assume he's going to take Simmons or Oladipo here. He took Donovan Mitchell, so I'm feeling pretty good about this game already, folks. He's questionable. I did not see that. I'm going to go ahead and go with him because I can possibly get Oladipo or Wall if he doesn't play. The good thing about draft is I'll let you know ahead of time that someone's not going to play. All right, I would go for Randall here because I feel excellent about him. I feel like I can still get him, though. So I'm going to take Dwight Howard here. I think this guy needs guards. So he's going to go with, he needs a guard, so he's going to go with Wall. I don't think he's going to take Randall. Let's go, guy. All right, he went Oladipo. So I'm comfortable if Simmons doesn't play. I'm comfortable with getting John Wall. Or it's my phone going off, letting me know I got a pick coming. Or if he doesn't take Randall here, then I'm going to be a very happy man. He went with Gobert, who I don't think is a good play tonight. All right, so my final one, going to go with Robert Covington. Man, I really like what I put together here. All right, so I'm projected. See, and the good thing is I'm actually projected to have a better game based off drafts projection. So I'm at 192.8. He's at 191, so that's a good thing. I really like my team a lot. Hopefully Ben Simmons plays. If he doesn't, I'm very comfortable plugging John Wall in there since he wasn't drafted. I think Randall's going to kill it. Covington, I think, is going to be solid. Dwight Howard, I think, is going to kill it. And then you can never go wrong with James Harden. So please give this, if you like the video, guys, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And we're talking lots of draft, lots of predict picks here on the channel. Click in the description to get started. Thanks.